A lot of this documentary is about the level, the quantity of homework that we're seeing our kids given, which as a mother of a ninth grader, I can attest to my daughter who sometimes pulls all-nighters. I'm like, you're in ninth grade.
Right.
You're not in college. What in the world are you doing staying up all night studying or getting maybe 2 hours of sleep?
See, and I didn't do those all-nighters until law school, and so I don't understand. And in our house, sleep is protected. And so even my daughter, who's a junior, she's in bed by 10:30 or 11, and she knows that she performs better at school the next day. She's more engaged with her classes.
What if she's not done with her homework, or
You know
what if she
really
doesn't feel ready for a test?
She deals with it. I think she has come to learn that a good night's sleep is worth an awful lot on that test. And they figure out when to get the work done.
If she doesn't do as well on the test, is she okay with that?
She's okay with it.
Really?
I'm okay with it, really. I think that, yes,
I'm
they're
okay
surrounded
with it.
by
It's just
a culture.
trying to get the kids to be okay with it. That's part of the problem.
Well,
you can say, just do your best,
right.
Get a good night's sleep.
Right.
This is insanity.
Yes.
But it's sort of like there's no talking to them.
Well, it's in the water they drink in a way, right? I mean, they're surrounded by it, and we're kind of raising this generation to think that they have to be perfectionists and that they have to be good at everything. You know, I think we've sold them this big lie. In my home, my kids know that it's okay to get a B, it's okay to get a C. And we want them to make those mistakes now while they're in our homes, and we can support them if needed, rather than when they get to college and they fall apart over a B.
Or beyond, where you say they become accustomed to tutors and coaches that they can't, that they have to achieve a certain level, and they can go to any lengths necessary to do that, either with a tutor or staying up all night.
Or taking the medication.
Or cheating.
Well, right. I mean, that's one of the issues I'm most concerned about also. It's not just the health issues, but the integrity issues. And
a lot of kids are cheating because they do what they have to do to make good grades.
Oh, right. That's right. They do what they have to do to get through the quantity also. It's not just about getting the grades, but I think when we're giving them busy work and things that lack meaning, and it's 1 o'clock in the morning, they do what they need to do to get through it. And I think, frankly, in many cases, the adults are looking the other way. And so, I wonder how much of this is part of our American culture also, that just do what you need to do to get where you need to be.
You interviewed a woman named Sarah Bennett, who's the founder of Stop Homework. Has she had much success? I know you mentioned, was it a school in Wyoming, Vicki, or that you mentioned sort of as a pilot program, got rid of homework, and it was so successful? They have no homework at that school?
That's right. Now, that's an elementary school. But but this film is inspiring lots of schools to take a look at the homework. And what I think is important is that we look at quantity as well as the quality of the homework, and that we look at the research on homework. And the reality is the research is very clear that in elementary school there's no benefit to the homework. And in fact, you see detrimental consequences. Reading for pleasure drops off. Family dinners drop off. Those are the two things that actually work well for young children.
And didn't one of the experts say that after an hour, an hour of homework, what did she say about that?
We start to see unintended consequences. After an hour in middle school, you start to see unintended consequences. Kids who start resenting the schoolwork, kids who become disengaged with the learning, kids who are sleep deprived, depressed, anxious, bored in some cases. And in high school, that number is 2 hours. I think, I'm a lawyer by background, so I think about the labor law sometimes. I mean, why is it okay for our kids to put in 15-hour days when we would never let them work those kind of hours?
And so how many hours of homework is the average, say, middle and high school student getting in this country?
Well, I think that's a hard number to get your arms around, but from the screenings that I've attended, I'm going to tell you in middle school there are lots of kids who are doing 2 to 4 hours of homework,
and then in high school,
on top of a 7 or 8 hour day in school, right?
Not to mention extracurricular activities.
Correct, all the extracurricular activities, and it's why sleep is the first thing to go, and yet we have to be concerned about the long-term health consequences of that sleep deprivation.